Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Boost to Hit. I am Tony,
Going on, Sam?
And I'm Chris.
and today we are talking to you about the brand new auxiliary expansion set for the Old Umbrey. Umbre? Is it Umbre or
Umbre,
Umbrey? Umbrey.
I think. I mean,
Super
we're
excited
still
about
arguing
this.
about Kador years later, so who knows?
That's true. That's true. Really excited about this because we got some super secret access to the rules, so we can talk to you guys about it before they come out. So we got a chance to kind of digest some of this. We're gonna go over the rules, talk to you about each of the new models that are coming in here. I can't pronounce any of them, so Chris is going to be amazing and pronounce them for us. And then yeah, we'll just, I guess before we jump into it, you guys got anything you want to talk about really quick, or are we ready to just get started?
I'm pretty excited about this expansion. I'm looking forward to telling you all what we have, what they've got in store. And the cool thing is that, you know, it's a spoiler, but it's not going to be a spoiler when these hit. These rules are going to hit the app on Wednesday after this comes out. So you've got something to look forward to this week.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about it. And, you're going to see a lot of this stuff, right? Obviously, we're probably not the only cast or channel that's going to be putting stuff out, which you will start seeing more stuff from us soon. My work life is getting very better now, so I can start producing more content. All of us can start putting stuff up again. So you'll see the channel kind of revive itself over the next couple weeks. So thank you for the 322 subscribers we currently have. Actually, I lied. We're at 326 subscribers. So thank you all very much for, keeping around with us, and yeah, we'll start producing more content. So, Chris, let's jump into it.
All right, right on. So, following from the core expansion, which showed us a whole bunch of werewolves in the forest, and the first glimpse that we got at the key support models for the army, as well as our infantry, our rank and file infantry and attachment. This time around, we've got some pretty cool stuff. I hope you like bears. With the auxiliary expansion, this army is mostly fleshed out. So this is pretty much going to be what you're going to see. There will be a few other things released, we believe, assuming that, certain leaks that may or may not have happened a while ago are accurate. We're still looking at another leader, maybe another solo, a couple of odds and ends, but by and large, with this release, you can consider Old Umbrey mostly ready to go for that first phase launch before they start adding in other stuff. I don't know, like a werebear, colossal gargantuan, something like that.
Which I'd be excited about, right? Like I don't mind the werewolf stuff. Like I think it's kind of cool, but I love werebears. Like I used to play role playing game a long time ago, World of Darkness, and I always played the
Yeah.
Werebear because I think they're super cool, right? So I am like, I wasn't excited about this army, but I love the look of these models and just the rules for the bears. That man, it really makes me at least want to pick up this auxiliary box, like just so I can have it. I'll probably never play this army because I'm a diehard Signar fan, but these are
Boo.
really cool. One, they're really cool models, and the rules are pretty exciting. I'm loving the shifting rule, and we can talk about it more. Right, you've already seen them with the wolves that came out. That the shifting ability is just really cool.
Yeah, I love it. Sam, you got to have something to say on this. You were the main driver behind getting into Old Umbrey, and thus far, you're the only one of the three of us that have even played them.
That's
Well,
true.
I've got one game in so far. All right.
It's more than
But
us.
So
yeah,
100% win streak. That's what I
Yeah.
heard.
Uh,
Undefeated.
you're getting the old Umbre tattoo on your back. Is what I'm being told right now.
on my back.
You're right, on the
Maybe.
butt.
That's probably easier. Um, but yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
Well, right on. Okay, let's just get into the specific models that we've got on tap today. We're just going to give kind of an overview of each of the releases, and then I'm gonna ping pong between Tony and Sam as far as what the rules are, and then we'll talk about impressions and just keep moving. I am, however, gonna start with Jazanna Auga, the Dark Sister, because she comes with an absolute Bible of rules. There's so much language on this card. God help them if they ever actually print it as a physical card.
It's like
Uh,
that's two or three cards right there.
oh yeah, she's
It's
so
a
much text
lot.
here. So
It's a
we're
lot.
not going to read through the whole thing. So I'll give you the high level hits here. She's a caster attachment. Certain leaks may have had her looking a little bit different. Well, she has changed quite a lot from what we saw. Her release version is a 5-point caster attachment. She's a spellcaster pretty much. She's stealth. She's pretty durable with a defense 15, armor 14. And she has an okay arcane attack at 6, and then a Mat Rat 6. She's speed 5, so not the fastest person on the planet. She's an old woman, cut her some slack. Um, Going back to the old Umbrey theme, she's a corpse user. She's got Body Snatcher, Grave Robber. So much like a lot of other things in the army, she can collect corpse tokens and she can spend corpse tokens to do weird stuff. A lot of the other corpse tokens we see are just, Trophy Hunter for the Primeval, where they're boosting it up. Veroni just because he likes them. There's a couple of limited applications for what you can do here, but Jazanna Auga really takes this to another level. Um, so what can she do with corpse tokens? First is a new rule called Fog and Filthy Air. It allows her to target a model within 5 inches and give them concealment. Cool. I'm old school Protector player. I remember that Reclaimers used to be able to do something similar with Ashen Veil. It's a pretty
Yep.
neat rule. She can do that. That's cool. The other thing she's able to do, Meat for the Beast. That's a familiar rule to us. She can spend those corpse tokens to boost attack or damage rolls. Very nice.
Which I like.
Yeah, it's gonna help because we're gonna we're gonna get to why that's important. Um, she has 2 attacks that she can do. One is a ranged attack, and the other is something she can spend a corpse token for. The third corpse token use is Peak and Pine, which she can spend a corpse token. She makes a range 8, POW 12 arcane attack. If it damages a model, your leader gets to transfer damage to that model once per turn. If you remember Dominar Hasheth from editions past, it works exactly the same as Bloodmark. And I've been in, our creators Discord all week talking about potentially nutty applications you can do with this thing as far as blowing yourself up, blowing your opponent up. It's a little weird, but it gives you just an extra free transfer on the board. You hit something with it, that could be pain for your enemy. So other cool thing with corpse tokens, of which she can hold 5 of them. I believe
Just
it's
a
5.
good.
That's a good number. Yes, it's
It's
5.
my favorite role right here.
Toil and Trouble. It is a rule that starts off at a 3-inch bubble from her, with a 1-inch added for every corpse token she's holding. Enemy models gain an additional die on attack rolls, and you discard the highest die. It's Star-Crossed without having to cast Star-Crossed. Hooray! Star-Crossed in a defense skew faction. This is
Yeah,
gonna be fun.
I'm a huge fan of this already.
It's
Yeah.
it's awesome, right? And for a 5-point model, really cool. I know
Yeah.
we're gonna go to the rest of it. I still have some thoughts on her, but
Mm-hmm.
very, very cool ability.
Very, very excellent ability. And we only just got to her actual attacks. Holy crap, she has so much. Like, the images that were sent to us early, there are 5 of them. There's so much going on here.
Yeah.
She has a ranged attack and a melee attack. Her ranged attack is a range 12, rate of fire 1. It does no damage. Yay. But it has a special rule, Black Wings. There is an absolute book of text here. All it basically translates to, if you miss, nothing happens. If you hit, put a 3-inch AoE template down on top of the model hit. Everything that model touches is blind. Yay. Blind on a
Mhm.
stick. Gotta love it. Boostable blind on a stick. Really
Yep.
love it. And then the funny thing is her melee attack actually has a great rule on it. It's probably the one that she's going to use the least because, speed 5, not very quick. Range 2, POW 12 magic weapon with Starved. Her Gnarl Staff has Starve. We've seen this rule on the Starved, so yay, another instance of it in the army. And that's Jazanna Auga. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Tony, I'll start with you because I know you have thoughts on this.
No, so I have two thoughts on it, right? The first one is I do not love that she is a warcaster attachment. Whenever I think of a caster attachment, they do something to directly impact the warcaster, and this is fact warlock, right? Are they called just attached to the leader, right? So I this is a great solo that comes in does other stuff for the army, nothing very specific for the leader, right? Doesn't cast a spell for free, doesn't reduce stuff, doesn't give them an extra fury. I don't love that.
Sure.
And that's my one issue. The other one is Peak and Pine, and we can talk about that later on. I don't know if I'm sold on Peak and Pine. I think it's a cute ability. It's a range 8. It's really short range. I don't see them living afterwards.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, Sam, you're
So
next.
Personally, my favorite rule on this card is probably Toil and Trouble. And the reason being is the way I've come to realize the way I like to play is I like to be annoying with my stuff. If I have to give something up, I want you to have to take as many activations as going to be to dislodge that model. And to me, that helps out with that. So you got an 8-inch bubble here if you have 5 corpses, which after I played my first game, I found it wasn't that very difficult to get those corpses that I needed.
No, not at
And,
all.
which is awesome.
having your enemy discard a highest roll on a high defense skew already is going to be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, we're
And
dealing
I
with
do
a
love that. They're going to suffer with range, right? Range attack's still going to hurt with that
Mhm.
specific ability, right? But man, once again, the melee that's going to be hard to lodge out because if you're rolling 3 dice, right? One of them's probably going to spike. You're not going to have 2 that are high. That's painful to see like a potential crit just disappear.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it go away. I've done it to players before. I mean, like it's funny that a 5-point solo to me is better than Oriax in Sea Raiders. Poor
Yeah.
Oriax, my sad boy. I love him still, but oh. Um, we're also seeing what Steamforged considers to be a modern 5-point solo. Looking at you, other 5-point solos in the game, and why you don't see table time. Because look at this. Just look at this. This is nuts. There's a lot
It's a
here.
lot of attacks. It's a lot of good stuff. For
I'm
5 points,
actually
very good model.
So I have a thought about the attachment thing before we move on from her, Tony. And I think the
Okay.
reason she's attached, and I get where you're coming from a mechanical standpoint. I think her attachment rule is a thematic rule. I think that this is the old witch's sister, or maybe not a blood relative. We don't know. I haven't read the fiction. Like, I don't think there's much fiction about her out there yet. I think she might be in the Old Ways Part 3. Not
Okay.
100% sure yet. Haven't finished it, but someone kind of like her showed up. So just saying. Um, I think that she's there as an emissary to watch over the warlock. That she's like she's the old witch's eyes on the ground. So she's an attachment because she is actually kind of reminding the warlock of who the power is behind their power.
If that's the case, I love that, right? I think that would be really cool because when I did see the name, I did think like, oh, is this, the old witch's sister, right? And it called the Dark Sister would kind of make sense. Thematically, I love that, right? And especially if there's no other attachment, right? I don't think there's any other attachment in this army, right?
There
Now
So
there
isn't
isn't,
yet.
no.
okay, so I'm fine with, right? Because then you're not competing with 2 different attachments. So I'm okay with that thematically. I think it's going to come to an issue if in the future, right? Because they have said, right, hey, like this is Steamforge is doing it different than what Privateer Press said. Privateer Press said, hey, once the army is out, they're out there. We're not going to touch anything. Steamforge has then said in the future, right, hey, you're still going to see a couple updates. Like we'll see some updates for Storm Legion in the future, right? Which should be kind of cool, right? Maybe 1 or 2 models. So like in 2 years from now, when Old Umbrey gets an update and it's another attachment, like that's gonna for me feel a little bad because thematically that's I love the idea, right? I love the idea if it is like, hey, the Steel Witch's sister and they're attached so they do see the power, like that's really cool. For gameplay wise, it's gonna be super annoying if I see another because this is a fantastic model. If I have to compete between this and another absolutely fantastic like attachment, like that's gonna be a struggle. And that's how the game is, right? You're always going to struggle with that because you don't want to have too many of a solo bloat when you're building your list. But it's odd to me. But if that is the case with the lore, I do love the lore, so that would be really cool if that is the reason why.
Just my read on it right now. Honestly, like when I first saw her name, I'm like, is this the old witch with a fake mustache on? Because I want to see that. That pulls off
That
the
would be
skull and it's like,
great.
it was me all along.
Oh God, that'd be great.
Scooby Doo style.
Yeah,
Let's
I would say
go.
some Scooby Doo stuff. Would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling booster hitters.
As parting one for her, I power level wise, I think that she's very strong. as we'll go through this box, she's actually the one that I am the least sold on from a makes. I don't think she's an auto include. 5 points is a lot, and 5 corpses for a solo is also a lot when the rest of your army wants, corpses. There's
And then she
competition there, and you can get 5 corpses. Like Sam said, you can get 5 corpses easy without enemy player, like opposing player interaction. It's wonderful. It's not a corpse economy, it's an absolute market. You're rolling in bodies. It's super cool. But, there comes a point where, well, I put those 5 corpses on Jazanna Auga, and now my primeval's sitting there going, what about me? There is competition for it, and you have to kind of pick and choose your battles. Maybe she gets one here or there before you load her up for a real defensive push. But I'm
and that's
also
true.
I'm with Sam. I love annoying models. She is annoying. And remember, Toil and Trouble is always on at a 3-inch bubble, even if she has no corpses. Killing her alone, if you have to do it in melee, she's defense 15. Have fun. That's going to suck.
That is definitely gonna suck. That is not gonna be good at all. It's gonna be a bad day.
All right. Tony, I'm going to kick you up for the next one. You get the softball. The Liegemen
Yeah,
Hunters are in this
I,
box.
I say because I can actually say Liegemen Hunters, which is great. Sorry, so Liegemen Hunters, right? Field allowance 4, which is great. They're 6 points, which they're really cost effective, right? They're marked as well, so pretty much I feel like almost all units at this point are marked, which is great. Their basic ability, right? They have headshot, which is really nice, simple, awesome ability. They're heavy hunting rifle. They're rat 6, range 10, which isn't terrible, power 12, which is great. And they have a melee weapon, which is a range 1, power 9. So not bad at all. I think overall pretty decent, right? Nothing super special about them, but a range 10, power 12, great profile, I think, for shooting.
So there's a rule on that card that I might direct your attention to the top right you might have missed.
The
Oh,
headshot. Oh,
Hmm.
is that ambush?
They
and
ambush.
They ambush. I actually missed that. You're right. They have ambush or you can advance deploy them. But ambushing is actually really great with them because you get ambush and a 10-inch range on an ambush. That is pretty solid.
Yeah, a real POW too, not just like, hey, we have some guns, we got a range 10, we got a POW 12, we have an army that can skew some armor, we've got Incite out there, we've got Curse of Shadows on the rack. Those POW 12s may not stay POW 12s, is all I'm saying. Could be
And that's
really
true.
interesting.
and
No,
coming
and
from
that's
experience
nice.
here, um, you know, that headshot taking care of, say, Rangers hanging on the flank ignores their tough. Yeah, you're looking for a 7 on the 13 there, but you're gonna hit some of those guys.
Now, my
It's nice.
question is with headshot, it's a remove from play. You don't get a corpse token then, do you? Or do you get the corpse
No,
token?
You don't.
you do
Okay, so
not.
there is,
Well,
so it
actually,
does, it is a
that's
little bit of,
actually not
Oh
correct.
no, it says destroyed. Corpse
Yeah.
tokens on disabled, I believe.
Corpse token is on destroy, but because both trigger at the same time it shows up.
okay, so you do get it. So it's not a,
Yeah.
taking an old school score energy. It's not a score energy. This is actually,
No,
it
no.
still helps you. Okay.
If it
I,
said
I I'm
models
great with it then.
disabled by a ranged attack, that would deny you a corpse token. But because it's models destroyed, no, they still show up.
Okay.
Oh right,
That's
because
kind of
disabled.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're an easy one. I like them obviously. 6 points. They're the other small base 5 grunt unit. They're cheap. You can pop werewolves or werebears out of them, and I like their rule kit. I can already see multiple applications for them across like different leaders. Bowden, I already mentioned Insight. Oh man, he's gonna love a couple squads of these. The cool thing is that the way I liked how the Primalist came out with the core expansion, the Primalist has 3 rules that you can pick, one per turn, and it seems like 2 of them are good on the Liegemen Wardens, is it? And then 2 of them are good on the Hunters. Like the Hunters are really gonna love Prowl and Tree Walker. Big time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which is awesome. God, man, I'm jealous for this unit, right? Like I love just a cheap, effective unit. It's something that like I am very sad that Gravediggers don't have, but I love that Old Umbrey does because I do feel it plays into the theme of them more. Like I think thematically this makes a lot of sense. These being here because they are old school hunters, right? They're going out, they're hunting their prey. Obviously, they're going to be doing headshots because they're well trained in it. We're at 6, so like, right, they're not the best shooters in the world, but it'd be and it makes sense that they didn't then have like combined like rat or anything like that because they're still individual hunters. I love it. I really like this unit a lot, both thematically and rules wise.
For all those old school Kador players out there, these are basically grown up Cossites. Couldn't be happier. Finally, they see the light.
Yes, better. Yes, they're not those. Wait, the woodsman.
Yeah, Mark One Cossite Woodsman that
Oh
for
God.
many editions have languished a bit.
Yes, I don't think you
The
can even.
Liegemen Hunters are basically them, but just better in every way.
Exactly. Yes, I think the roll headshot on them really makes and having ambush is just awesome.
Yeah,
Especially
ambush
in
on a
this
range
steamroller
is
packet.
already good. Was that Sam?
Especially in this steamroller packet, I think ambushes stonks are high on that one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. Playing as wide as we do, it's really nice. Especially like guns are good, but a solid ambushing unit, man, that's the armies I play. Well, this one soon. Hey, hey. Um, but the armies I've historically played, if they have ambush access to ambush, like Infernals, my ambush is Crow's Cutthroats, which let me tell you about a sad sack of crap. Especially compared to these guys, they are worse in every way and more expensive. Blech. No, thank you. I would much
Yeah, I
rather have
say.
these guys than Infernals.
That's why I love the fact that they are just cheap. Like I love the
Yeah.
fact that they're cheap ambushing. 6 points is awesome, right? Like looking at gravediggers, right? Like we have the commandos, right? They're 8 points. They have a range. They have a range 10 gun, but it's only a power 10 as well. So it's shorter. It's these are just awesome for 6 points.
Yep. They did a good job of keeping the rules bloat low and keep their point cost down. We saw the Wardens too. They're simple, straightforward, not many rules, but also 5 points for 5 dudes. Point of
Yeah,
model is where we get to a level that I'm super excited to feel because that's about as good as it gets for a combat unit. And I'd like to mention that these guys are also a blade of casualties and potential were creatures. So we
that's
get
true.
corpses, we get were creatures, and we get guns. I can't be happier.
Now you don't get the corpse if they become a were creature.
You do not.
Correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
That will remove him from play at disabled.
Okay. All right. And that's what I figured because that'd be kind of weird. But
Yeah.
all right. Any
They're
other
very
last topics?
All right. So let's move on to the next model, actually. Sam, I'm going to kick this one up to you. Our Liegemen Ursan champion.
All right. Let's see. So he's a solo champion bear, right? You're riding a giant bear. He's got a nice big old saber. He's got 2 claws and a shield. So you're looking at a speed 7, defense 12, arm 18 with a shield, brings him up to 20 with 10 boxes, and he's 5 points.
Woo!
Yeah, I
Ridiculous.
have
Super good
some
for
Boy.
5 points.
honestly, in my opinion, I think he's too good. And
We'll get to that.
I'm
We'll get to that. You got a few more
I
rules.
it's yeah, he's got battle plans, right? So he's got desperate pace for the small beast Liegeman. He's got precision strike, which I'm going to tell you right now, I hate this rule. It feels like a cheat code. And then you have stir the blood, okay, and reposition. So he is a really good utility piece, but at the same time, he is incredibly tanky, but he can put a hurting on you as well because he's got 4 initials,
Yep.
right? With critical knockdown and critical brute damage.
And
I
cast.
personally
That
think
was Chris can happen.
this model's too damn good. It really
He
is.
is
It has you got to
very
do
good.
31 damage to take it off the board.
Mhm.
I, I don't know how I feel about this trend. I just feel like these medium and heavy models are just getting so good. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So I like him a lot, right? Because again, right, the veteran leader for Liegemen is really awesome, right? Within 10 inches, get the +1 attack rolls. That's awesome. Battle plans, I think, are fantastic because they don't take a star action. They don't take a special roll to go do it. It's just something that happens. Um, Precision strike is probably one of my favorite rolls in the game. I know you think it's a cheat code, but I have precision strike has helped me so much with big armies that have a lot of units because it's so easy to get cluttered around. I mean, I had one where I literally was able to move through a colossal because of precision strike, right? Like that is like,
Well aware. I was on the receiving end.
yeah, oh yeah, you were on receiving that one. Yeah, see, so like it's really good. It's
It's
very
happened to
very
me to so many games because I'm like, okay, I position all these things. I don't have to worry about this thing because he can't move through his models. And I'm like, boom. Oh yeah, precision strike. I'm like, oh there goes that thought.
It's I think I think it's I think having him on I, he's very good for 5 points.
He's
Because like
very
he does have unstoppable, right? He has obviously Pathfinder. He's cavalry, so when he charges in, his first attack's going to be a additional die to hit, which is really good, right? Space with a crit brutal damage. So if he has a lot of great things. I don't know if he's like too good, but he is pretty awesome. I do love him a lot.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's not damn good. Again, we're seeing another example of this is what it takes to field a 5 point. So, I mean, remember, certain things like certain factors to take into consideration here. He has a lot of really good rules, but he benefits Liegemen predominantly. Precision Strike is great for everybody, but Stir the Blood, you're looking at Warrior Models unit. Desperate Pace is small based Liegemen, and Veteran Leader is Liegemen. So if you want to take advantage of his buffing kit, it's going to dictate your army. None of this is free. And he's also a solo, and in the year of our Steamroller 2025, being a solo is the worst thing you can be.
And that's
Um,
true because Solo can't do anything really.
They
you
can
can
still do
contest a
stuff.
cache or take one, and or contest objectives.
Yeah,
That's it.
And they can help capture flags.
Yeah, that you sit
they
on
can help
scenario
capture.
training.
Yeah,
It's good.
or if you're like me, you just ignore scenario and just use them to go kill everything.
Well, buddy, do I have an army for you? These guys can go for the throat like nothing else.
No, that's
Um,
why I'm kind of jealous about him.
I think that he's really good. I'm not going to pretend he's not. All of his rules are excellent. Is he too good? I think time will tell. But I think also a lot of armies out there underprice certain key things ever so slightly because your army is kind of designed around these should be in the army. Um, you know, Veroni, for example, being 4 points for the insane amount of utility that he provides every Old Umbrey list. I mean, he's an auto include practically. I I'm sure there will be lists in the future that will try not to include him because support is theft, but my God, is he really good support? And the Ursan champion kind of exemplifies that support is theft mindset where it's like, well, you're getting support, but you're also just getting a, beefcake. Now, having played Groton Keepers for about a year now, I can tell you, Arm 20 at 10 boxes, not tough, by the way, just that's what he's got. He can still be knocked down.
Yep.
Um, and it's arm 20 that requires the shield, so he's arm 18 if you have a chain weapon. A berserk attack from a pissed tyrant can one shot him, and
Yeah.
granted, that's a heavy.
Right. You're gonna invest big boys, big
But
points
that's also
to
why I said a berserk attack, an ancillary. Oh, look, I got an extra one. Bonk. He's dead.
So,
Um,
nope.
it's
Sorry,
not
you go ahead.
impossible to deal with, is what I'm saying. Like he's not just going to sit in the center. You also don't necessarily want to lead with him because if you still got a bunch of guys that can benefit from those extremely good rules, maybe you don't want him to die super fast. I mean, he's arm 20 with 10 boxes will still die to a couple of infantry books just getting on him.
yes.
Very
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Now, he is a marked model, which I
Hmm.
feel like if you choose to mark him, right, and to come out, first off, I don't think he should ever become a werewolf because that's just rude. Other thing is, in my mind, every single time you actually mark him, it's not actually him coming, it's his werebear. It's the bear that he's riding on becomes, the apex or the shifted.
What are you
Just,
riding on? Oh, that's Phil. He lived
yeah,
down the
that's
street until about a week ago. Now he looks a bit weird.
dude, he's pissed at you right now. So anytime I play against someone and they switch him, it is not your model that's riding it. It is 100% that bear that's gotten pissed, and he's standing up and he's just gonna start fighting things.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right in that, 5 point solo, you don't really want to make him into a marked target unless you really have no other choice and it's a really good idea. Probably not, but when he dies, and the situation makes sense, you can turn him into a shapeshifter. Read
Yes,
also, yeah, it probably should be a bear. Come on, just it's thematic.
it's got to be right. It's got to be the bear.
Werewolf comes out. That's a funny looking bear you were riding.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I love this guy. Let's move on to the next one. And Tony, you can take us through. Well, we've got a Liegemen Ursan champion. What would a champion be without a unit of Liegemen Ursans that he's
That's
leading?
true. Yeah. So, which I love, right? Hold on, just really quick. Just want to make sure. So he can, yep. So they benefit from him. So it is a 3-man cavalry unit. So speed 7 again, defense 12, armor 18. They have unstoppable, which is great. They also have dual attack, which I really love on them. I think that's kind of a fun thing that the champion does not have. They get their repo as well. They get unyielding, nice. And then with them, right, they have a heavy scatter gun that is a pistol weapon and 2 bear claws, and then they have their shield. So instead of them having the spear, they can go and shoot you twice, shoot you in melee, or shoot you once in melee. That's a spray. Their bears can attack you, and then they also have a shield as well. Now, the rule that we see, the shield doesn't have the +2 on the picture, but I'm assuming it's a +2. So they're probably going to be an armor
No,
20.
no,
They have
they have unyielding instead of the shield.
Oh, okay, okay. Yep. All right. So then they have unyielding, right? So get them in
Slightly
melee, they get
weaker.
+2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can shoot them by range, right? They're not tough as well, which isn't it's good. I'm happy that they're not tough. They're 10 points. Um, I like them. I don't have too many issues with them. I think that the scattergun is pretty decent, right? A power 14 spray is pretty solid with a repo afterwards. Um, their
I just
threat's a
gotta.
little bit short. I think they only get to an 11-inch threat, if I'm looking at it correctly, right? Because they're speed 7 +3, and I think their bear claws are only 1 inch. Yeah, so it's a pretty short charge range. But what do you
I
think,
just gotta
Chris?
stop you here, Tony.
Okay,
Because you went through all of this, and you didn't say the most important fact about this model.
they're on
They're bear
bears.
cavalry. They're
They're a
they're
bear
bear
cavalry.
cavalry.
They're bear cavalry.
You're taking them. They're bear cavalry. That's
So
it.
like, I just love the fact that between the warlock that's on a bear, they have this unit of bears and the bear like solos, right? Like this is the reason why I want to play them, just for this little bit. I just want to play this super niche army of just all bears.
I think it'd be
Just let me
good
be a
too.
bear in the woods.
And you're right that they don't have the highest melee threat range, but I'd also point out that there
There's
are
bears.
2 revealed warlocks right now that 2 that are in the app right now that increase their threat range. You know,
It's true.
um, Aslanav's feat gives them +2 speed when charging, and Yana on a bear, Miss on a bear, has dash and she has fury strength to take those POW 14s up to 16s. Oh, maybe we have Curse of Shadow on the rack. Let's get 18. I don't know. Crazy bear calf.
That's ridiculous. That's amazing. Sam, what
Yeah.
do you think?
I'm a fan of them, and I'm just gonna compare them to my girls and Devour's host, right? I just the fact that they have pistol on their ranged weapon already, I don't mind paying 10 points for these guys because what they're on a 50 mil base, so that's what approximately 2 inches, a 2 inch place, so you're getting 4 inches if you place and move. You're gonna be shooting things 10 inches away that you didn't think you were gonna hit. You're just gonna catch
Yep.
people off guard. You're gonna get those sprays, and people are not gonna be happy. So yeah, they may not get all their initials, but I think they can remove some pretty important scoring elements off the board.
Yeah, we see a lot of cavalry, like a lot of cav exist in that 9 to 11, in some cases 12-point range. These guys are square kind of in the middle at 10 points, and I think that they are a very solid 10-point cav. Unlike a lot of your other cav, which they're faster with higher threat ranges. Most of your cav is speed 8 on average, and most of them, sorry, Rocks, you don't, but like your Storm Knight Legionnaires in uh, well, Storm Knight stuff.
Storm Legion.
Yeah, Storm Legion. Yes, I can remember army names. Blech. They have speed 8 with 2-inch melee, so they're natively 13-inch threat range with guns,
But
but
they're not
they're
Pathfindered,
they're not
which is, I think, a
pathfinders and they're
big
more
deal.
fragile. They're 5 wounds instead of 8. These beefy bears are 8 wounds with an arm 18, and inviolable resolve on the rack. So
Hmm.
you can get them up to 20s. That makes them not a bad frontline shock trooper. They're going to act a little bit more like a little more. It's not quite the same thing, but if people remember the long riders in Troll Bloods from years past, your Tuffalos. They were slower cav, but you could kind of throw them in as shock troopers rather than flank riders like a lot of the other cavalry ended up being, because they didn't go as far, but they could knock down and slam you around. So
Yeah, and
that
they
you
get stuck
kind of
in.
use
And I
them in
feel like
blind
this is they're
breakers.
going to be able to get stuck in.
Yeah, yeah. The With native PAL 14, you can get them stuck in and they can just start bonking stuff. That's totally fine. Like a lot of other units out there, like your shock trooper units, really want to charge, but if they can't, they're kind of sitting there going, "No, this isn't great." Also, we didn't quite mention this for the champion and these guys. They have unstoppable. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just jam them up; they'll leave
No,
and
they'll just
shoot you in the
walk away.
face.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll just leave and shoot you. Cool. They don't care. All right. So next up, oh baby.
Oh, you timed this, didn't you?
Oh
I
yes.
feel like he did, which I love it. Which we're a little bit more than
Um,
halfway through the box, right?
do you, Sam? Do you want me to take this one because we have two more options after this, and we can do one each for you and Tony.
No, I want you to make me jealous that you're loving on her as much as I love her.
All right. So you make it. You're gonna let me do this.
So Wormwood, I mean, whatever her name is.
Yes.
My bad.
Wormwood
Wor-
2, except she
yeah,
looks a little different this time. The
the
tree has
wormwooding.
definitely gotten a bit hotter. We have Olesea Reznikova, Mistress of Thorns. Jokingly, she is like Wormwood, but distinctly
Better.
different. She's the new warlock in the auxiliary expansion, and she's something else. Not the most durable warlock out there with only 16 boxes, defense 16, armor 15. We'll get to that. Um, Arcane 7, Control 14 is decidedly above average. That's a great stat for spellcasting and for control. She's got
Mhm.
an Arcane attack of 7. She's speed 6, rat 6, and like everything in this dang faction, she's a Pathfinder. She's also on a 40 mil base, so she's a little bit bigger than you might expect. Great set of natural abilities. First off, she is a tree walker. We remember this rule. Sam knows this rule very well from Devourer's Host. Tharn, well, okay, all the male Tharn have it. She also has Field Marshal Tree Walker, so she and her entire cohort can see through trees, see through forests, and they get defense bonus against melee attacks when they're in them. Oh, that's good.
It's real
Uh,
good. Seeing through force is real good, and giving it to all of her beasts, that's real solid.
yeah, prepare for shenanigans is all I'm saying. That seeing through forest is really important because we called her Wormwood 2 for a reason. Get to that. She has Spring Blades, which is a rule you'll find on the Dusk Dreadguard Cavalry. It's one where if you damage, if this model is hit and they're not killed, they do D3 damage back to you. Hopefully that doesn't come up too often because, like I said, she's not very durable. So if you're slapping her, some bad stuff's going down.
Yeah,
um,
it's gone bad.
She has strange growth, which I've only seen on Wormwood and on the Gallows Groves in Devourer's Host currently. What's cool is that she is a model that has a movement statistic, a speed. Those
And
guys
that is
don't. They're
so
stationary.
good.
It is stupid. And I'll
That is
remind everyone that's
awesome.
once per turn, anytime during activation, she just can place anywhere completely within 5 inches. That's strange growth. Doesn't say at the beginning of the activation, doesn't say at the end, just whenever the spirit grabs you and you feel inspired. That is, she just moves 11 inches because
And
I
doesn't
love it.
cost anything. Like, it
Nope.
is really good.
Nope. Great roll. So her gun. Her gun. Grasping Briars is something that she stole from Tanith, apparently, because pretty much the same gun, except she has a bigger control range. So wait, is that 14? I can't remember.
Yep,
But
14.
oh well, look at that. All right, so she's a rat 6. Not the greatest. Doesn't matter because it has from beneath. She ignores concealment and cover. So your standard defense bonuses on the table don't apply to this. It's a rate of fire 1, no AoE. It's a POW 14 magic weapon. And it has fertilizer. Yay, Morvana fans will know this one. When you kill something living or undead, box it, you put a 3-inch forest template down, boom, got a forest on the ground.
So
This
that's also
matters.
on Cassia's sword.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is on Cassie. You never attack.
Yeah, I learned
Again,
it later when I
Wormwood
played
2.0.
him towards the end.
Yeah, Wormwood 2.0. So a great rule, and man, if there's only some way she could synergize with forests, oh, it's coming. Um, her feat, Burgeoning Thorns, is worded a little strange, but it's while an enemy model's in her control range, if they don't have flight, they suffer -2 speed and defense, and then friendly faction models gain spring blades. On paper, doesn't sound super powerful, but it does mean that you hit. It's almost like honestly, it's without the line of sight blocking thing. It is almost exactly like Wormwood's feat. In the -2 speed part, well, we did get it confirmed. It works kind of like difficult terrain, as in if you're going to go into it, if you're going to go into her control range with 14 inches, that's pretty good. You will suffer the speed penalty.
Yeah, as
So,
soon as you go in,
and
because
it
it's
and
not
it
starting in
stays
it.
there.
It's while you're as soon as you touch in.
Yeah. Now the
So
defense penalty, if you go into her control range and bounce out, the defense penalty won't still apply, but the speed, like once that speed modifies, it's modified. So it is
yep.
like if you if you have a speed 6 and you're 5 inches outside of her control area, you can't actually move into her control area because you would suffer -2 speed. You wouldn't be able to. So it is like difficult terrain. Um, So that's her feat. It's like I said, a little strangely worded and good. I mean, we're again defense debuff is awesome. Defense skews are in the meta. Gotta love this. -2 speed can really screw up some threat ranges. String blades, I think, is kind of meh personally, but we'll get to impressions here in a second.
It's definitely the silliest part of, well, not silliest, it's definitely the weakest part of it. I love the -2 speed and -2 defense. I think
Yeah.
that has a
And
lot
we're
of
seeing a theme here in that Miss Reznikova, Wormwood 65, is one hell of a control caster because that's where the spell list comes in. So first off, she has rapid growth, which is place a forest template down 3 inches. Wormwood has this. We're going back to this tree again and again. I love it. Um, so now she has two ways to create forest templates: fertilizer and rapid growth. Cool. Um, she has stranglehold, which
that's
is one of the nastiest spells in the game currently. And she has Stranglehold in a faction that has both Channeler models and Geomancy models. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Talk about impressions after, but that's got me. Ooh, that's good. Um, and Thistle is a brand new spell. This does not exist outside of Reznikova. It is a cost 2, range 8, POW 11. It's an offensive damage spell. Doesn't sound too impressive on paper. Has a special its special rule: if the target model that you're hitting is within 2 inches of forest, attack and damage rolls are boosted when you're resolving the spell. So she basically just gets to zot out functionally free boosty POW 11s whenever she feels like it between her ranged attack and strange growth and or rapid growth and oh, I don't know, the terrain on the table itself. Yikes.
it's
Lots of
pretty
synergy
solid.
with Forest play here. Oh, and she's Tree Walker too, and so is the battle group. This feels great. Just having
And she
such a good
has
time.
2 rack. Her rack is 2 as well, so she can add 2
Rack
extra
to
spells
two.
to this.
And she
Hold
has
on,
one
she's
final
not done
spell.
yet.
Oh no, we got one more spell.
Oh god, I
Shuffle
do.
Harvest. The last time we saw Harvest was Morvana 1. It's an upkeep when you kill living or an undead enemy model in her control area. She gains a Fury point. She can't exceed her cap as a result of this. So as you are murdering the heck out of things with Thistle, or her ranged attack, or I don't know, your army's doing it, whatever, she can just get up to full fury and just keep going. She actually has a reason to rack Earth Spikes because it's an AoE. She can almost, granted, the AoE damage, the blast damage on its sevens, kind of not great, but she can cast Earth Spikes into a squishy squad functionally for free if she can harvest all of that fury back. So that's Reznikova. Sam, I'll turn it over to you first for impressions.
Honestly, I don't even know where to start. She's definitely the one that I've been most excited about, and then seeing these rules, it's Wormwood plus Tanith to me. Um, I want to come back to the feet because I know you guys aren't a big fan of the spring blades, but I like the spring blades because you can sort of use that to put a big boy out there, and if you don't take care of him, maybe you try to bait a unit, right? And they're like armed 21, 22. You're gonna kill things without swinging at all. So you'll probably remove 2 or 3 models, and you're gaining corpse tokens from that. So I like that part of that feat. I don't think it's any less than the -2 speed and defense. Other than that, the stranglehold, I really don't give a shit for it. I just don't care for it. It's expensive.
You're crazy.
It's expensive to
You're crazy.
cast. It's expensive to cast. Then you're definitely gonna boost because you're like, well, I don't want to miss. And then guess what? It's PAL 13. You're trying to knock out a colossal or a heavy with that. They're probably gonna be armed 20, 21, dice off 7, dice off 8. You're gonna have to boost. So from my experience with Wormwood, it hasn't worked out very well for me, and I just think it's a trap. But everything else, I'm here for it.
All right, Tony, what you got?
So I think that I mean she's really good, right? It's definitely like they're I think it's a really good representation of what a good control caster looks like. Um as she's starting dropping force and all that stuff, it synergizes really well with the Tree Walker, which we've talked about. I think it's really good. I like Spring Blades versus a single wound infantry. Now, blades, the model has to survive, right? So if you don't have things that are high armor, high defense, like they're not going to live. But if this going on to war beasts, your single wound infantry is going to charge in. One single wound infantry is not going to one shot a war beast, and even your jacks are not going to one shot a war beast, right? So it's going to whittle damage down on another war jack, taking out those. So I think there's really good things with it. Her feat definitely does a lot to stop an alpha charge against your army, which is really good, right? The fact that hey, as soon as you enter into it, you're automatically -2 speed. So you're a lot of threat ranges, right? I think the most I've seen threat ranges you can get up to like 14. There's some of them that can get further, right? But when I'm thinking of like a lot of my models, I can get them up to 14, maybe 15 or 16. I think I've gotten like the general up to like 17 through really silly things. Reducing that by 2 inches, that kills a lot of it, right? That really limits stuff, and then I like it a lot. And then also the -2 defense is it's really awesome. It allows you to stop an alpha charge and then also be able to counter back on things that are really high defense. I like her a lot. I think a lot of people are going to use her and they're going to die at first, right? Because I do think she is a little bit of a tricky caster to be able to play. Um, but I definitely think this is one of those high ceiling, high floor situation where if you can get really good at her, she is going to be very terrifying to play against in the hands of a very, very capable player.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that she's probably the closest thing to busted that this army has. I think that she's absolutely at the top of the power curve. She is control incarnate. Um, and I love control casters, straight up. They're my favorite to play. And she is on steroids. Um, Looking at the control, she can create forests, one with a spell, one with a gun. Forests are a hell of a lot better line of sight blocking tools than clouds are because
Yes.
guidance, which every army has right now, sees through
Yeah.
clouds. But they don't see
Yep.
through forest. Very few things see through forest. Hey, funny, Tree
Tree
Walker
Walker.
does.
Yeah, Tree Walker does. I think that's it, isn't it?
Woohoo!
Fucking Tree Walker. Mage Side, I think, might, but I don't even know if Mage Side's in the game anymore.
I honestly can't remember. Um, her feat is like I do like her feat quite a lot. It's going back to that element of control. And yeah, I'm not downplaying Spring Blades. I'm simply saying that compared to some of the other things, on her kit especially, it is the thing that least excites me. But I mean, I'll take free chip damage. I can tell you stories about tormentors taking more damage from Spring Blades than they actually did to the freaking Dreadguard Cav they were hitting. Like it's totally bit me before. And it's one of those things where more dice get rolled, weird stuff happens. Suddenly somebody's cortex is blanked because they were half damage coming in, and I don't know, your activation is done. You know, it just creates opportunities that otherwise wouldn't exist. Her spell list is bonkers.
Bonkers.
It is stupid good. I am hard disagreeing with you on this one, Sam. Stranglehold is a great freaking spell. The only reason that Wormwood has challenges with it is because he's the only one in the army that casts it. Because
Yeah.
he can't take, a spell slave attachment.
Nope. Because he's got an attachment.
Reznikova can take Geomancying Primevals. So they can cast it too. That's where it starts getting stupid. Because her casting it, I would agree. If it was one Stranglehold for turn, it's good. And there's no access that I've seen anyway to rerolls in the faction. So to your point, one needing a boosted 8 or 9 on a Colossal, I mean, you hit it more often than you don't, but you will miss it more often than you might think you do. And that feels bad. Now what happens if 2 Primevals are dogpiling in on that too? Or you're not taking a Colossal and they're able to just freely boost attack and boost damage, not taxing Reznikova at all. And suddenly, her plus 2 Primevals, 3 heavies have to sacrifice mover action.
So hold on. Let's take a
Dude,
step back there. The Geomancy, you get to cast it for free, but you said you can boost it as well?
Yes.
There's no rule against it not doing that. And the thing is, every single one of her abilities, all of her spells can be casted Geomancy. That is ridiculous. So they can Thistle cast if they wanted to. God, man, Geomancy on a fucking stick, literally, because it's an ancient staff. It's
I still don't
bullshit.
like the -8, -9 there.
Yeah.
But, sure.
The Geomancy magic attacks have always been able to be, and it's not for free, they have to force.
Right,
But
right,
they have
right.
always been able to be boosted independently by the War Beasts.
Okay, I kind of looked at it like a spell slave where you just cast it and that was it.
You started playing Devourer's Host this edition, and Circle in years past had this with I can't remember which Wold. Warden? I can't remember.
I was one of them. They're
Yeah,
ridiculous.
one of the Wolds has Geomancy, and I can tell you many, many horror stories of Geomancy Gallows from Kruger 2 just absolutely wrecking my day because, oh, look, here's a boost to hit, come on. And just, and then just watching like 2 Wolds do that, and then Kruger does it, and then all of a sudden my heavy is 24 inches across the board. Oh, and by the way, it's backwards too. Cool. So.
Gotta love Red Circle, man.
I mean, Red Circle is my favorite. Resnick Circle incarnate.
It's really good. Like it really does encompass like, hey, this is it's good. Like I do like her a lot, but I do think you're gonna have to be a very finesse player to be able to play her really effective, and those are the ones that are gonna be very scary. She's gonna be in WTC lists. She's gotta be, right. It's gonna be one where top players are gonna be fighting over who's gonna be able to take her because she'll definitely be out before WTC.
I do believe
Not before list lock though, right?
Maybe not.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if it's before
I don't
list lock
remember.
as long as before the actual the model.
The models are slated to come out on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, so that'll be well before. So you can
I don't
list
know
lock
what
without them.
WTC list lock
I
is. Yeah,
would-
they
I
don't have to
don't-
be released for list lock, and they'll have the rules on Monday. So
Yep.
woohoo!
I don't know if I would take that chance.
I would.
Oh,
100%.
some people will. I'll promise you some will. She's worth it. I
She's worth it.
truly believe that if any of the leaders needs to have that I looked on, because we're seeing a lot of power coming out of this army, but if any of the leaders need to have the eye of Sauron on them, like it's her. I think that she can create a cancerous board state, and I'm putting it on the record right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Stranglehold move to a shakeable effect if she becomes too toxic.
Dude, I would love that.
Already.
I would
that?
love Stranglehold being shakeable.
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ,
Everybody who doesn't have it wants that.
Exactly, man.
There's plenty
Dude,
of stuff that are already shakeable. No, you're
I don't know
good,
how
bro.
many times I have had my Colossal Stranglehold the entire game.
Yep.
And it is just such a bad feeling having a 30+ point model that just can't move. Just can't do it. It can move or attack.
Hey, it sounds to me like you probably should be using another list if you see Stranglehold.
Or maybe it should just be a shakeable ability.
No,
reduce it to a cost 2. Let
it
be a cost 2, and then let it be shakeable.
No.
All right. I'm taking no sides in this. I am So I'm a fan of control existing in the game, totally, and I think this is good control. I am concerned when one player when one player says, "I get to play a game," and you, um, your
Very
opponent
much
needs to have
so.
some advocacy. So, and there's only a handful of armies that have real spell denial out there. It's not a ton. Um, so all I'm saying is I would not be surprised, or maybe that moves to not affect huge bases. I don't know.
Real
I'm
quick,
not. I'm
no,
not
I think this is the balancing factor on it is that if we go back to what I said about you still having to boost and spend all that fury on the board, you're you're going to be really limited to pulling that fury off.
I,
So I think that's the balancing factor there.
if my opponents would not actually absolutely crank every damage roll for Stranglehold. I've had an entire Infernal Horror army Stranglehold before. So through deceleration, I'm like, I'm armor 21. This should be fine. It was not fine. It
That
was
was an
so that, and
outlier.
that's just Hexy too. Like, oh boy, it's good. I'm keeping an eye. I'm not. I'm played her, obviously. I only just saw the rules this week. I think at first blush that she's very, very, very powerful. And it would be the one if I had to pick one where I'd be like, yeah, keep an eye on her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That one might be a little too much.
All right.
Personally, I'm just excited to nuke people with this all game. That's all I want to do. Like, heck, Stranglehold. I want to shoot magic missiles at
That's pretty awesome.
you.
All right, we got 2 more models to get through.
Yep, two more. And Sam, I'm turning it over to you for Papa Bear, the Ursine Apex.
Okay. So Ursine Apex, unstoppable, tough, Pathfinders in the entire army. This model has a buttload of rules, especially for a 4-point model. So let's just start off real quick. He's defense 11, so he's going to get smacked pretty easily, but he's arm 18 and he's got 12 boxes.
And tough.
Yes. So he's got Defiant Rage, Immovable Object. He's also got a leadership, which gives Defiant Rage, which and Retaliatory Strike. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Right? And on
Mhm.
top of that, he's got Shield Guard.
Yep.
So this model is incredibly, I guess the best word is, has a lot of utility. And that's what I like about him.
Yeah. How about the weapons?
So going to the weapons, he's got 3 initials. So he's got all that utility, but he packs a punch. He's got a POW 15. All 3 attacks are POW 15, but they're all range 1 with beatback. So again, more utility. If you're a scenario player, kind of like myself, I don't mind sacrificing a 4-point model to maybe knock a model 2 inches off a scenario, right? Because most of the time
Mhm.
people are putting them just within 3 inches. So just getting one attack to knock them off that scenario limit, to me, that's worth the points alone right there.
Yeah.
So, and what I love about this model, right, is that one, it has Defiant Rage, right? So if you hit it, all of a sudden those power 15 damage rolls go up to power 17, which is fantastic. He has tough, and if you roll the tough, he doesn't become knocked down, so you can still keep rolling tough. So you have to roll a 1, 2, or 3 for this model to actually get removed from the game, which is really good.
Yeah, and the second you put a point of damage on him with that Defiant Rage, he also goes up to arm 20. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yay. It's
So and he
battle
has and he
driven
has and
without
he
the
has
Pathfinder because he
and he
already
has
has
12
it.
health boxes. That's a
Yep.
lot of
Yep.
health.
Yep.
He's a beefy boy.
Like he's
I
pretty
I
good.
love him.
And I love the
The
fact that protective rage, right? And like it's just oh sorry, I'm jumping ahead. The wrong model.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we'll get to him.
I
No,
guess
like
the one thing to look back on though is that it doesn't start the game deployed, right? Because it's a
Mhm.
shapeshifter model. You have to destroy a marked model. And from experience, I haven't played into Umbre, but I just want to say with something that has like similar triggers, say for Butcher's Bill, right? And Jake's, I've come to find that it's very easy to just ignore killing the single wound infantry models or the warrior models and just go for the jacks to try as long as possible to not trigger those things. And I feel like that's something we can do here which means you'll probably end up having to spend points on a primeval so that you can get that arm to shapeshift these models.
Well, an Animus can do it as well, right?
I believe so. And he's what, 2 points?
It's 2 points. And also stapled in every list because holy butts, he's good.
I don't think I have him in any of my lists right now.
I think you'll fix that.
I need to go back and read what his card does because I didn't put him in for a reason.
Yeah, I'm big on the Ursine Apex. He's a big boy. I like the duality between the werewolves. I'm a big werewolf fan, by the way, Tony. I don't know what the heck you're smoking. Um,
Me
but
too.
the Ursines are super cool for a completely different reason. You know, with the Lupines, we've got offensive, jumpy, dodgy, hard hitting, good melee reach, idiots who just pop out and kind of cause a mess of things. And
And they're
the
faster.
Ursines, and they're faster. Yeah, the
They're
Ursine
faster,
Apex
yeah.
is speed 5. That is derpy. He threatens not mighty 9 inch. It's not that impressive. But
Is he
he's
affected by Malakov's feat?
oh yeah, he's a warrior model, 100%. Yeah,
Yep.
Azelnov, yeah, totally. Yeah, he can get in there. And he hits hard. You damage him, he hits harder and is harder to kill. Tough no
Any
knockdown.
retaliatory
Works out well.
strikes, which is
And
real
he's a
good.
shield guard. This faction has none of that.
Yeah.
Like this
So
army doesn't have shield guard.
that is a big deal to me coming from playing Circle. It was just like one of our greatest weaknesses, right? But now we come over here, we have Windstorm. God, that thing is so good. And then a shield guard on top of that. So not only do you get your blast resistance and less range, if you are in range, well, you're not going to shoot what you want to shoot. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that he's really, really cool. And Tony, we'll turn it over to you for the last one. The earth sign shifted because now we had Papa Bear, now we got Baby Bear.
Yep. All right. So as opposed to the Apex being a 4 point model, this is only a 3 point model. Field allowance 4, which is really nice because I think the Apex is a field allowance 2. So you can bring a
Mhm.
lot of these, right? A little bit less health at 8 points as opposed to 12, but he still has tough and they still have Pathfinder. So a unique thing with them is they have a thing called Protective Rage. And Protective Rage is when a friendly model is hit by a non-spray range attack, if this model is not in play, you can choose to have this model replace the friendly faction mark model within 3 inches of the model hit. So it kind of becomes almost like a second shield guard in a way, right? Because
Yeah.
then this model is automatically hit instead, and you remove that mark model. It's really good, right? Because then if you bring this model out, he's an armor 7, right? But then if you already have an Apex out as well, then they can get the Defiant Rage as well. So then they jump up to Armor 19 afterwards. Really good. So not only do they have the Protective Rage, they could just come out when something's being attacked by a non-spray range attack. They have their Shapeshifter ability, and they have Shield Guard as well.
Double shield guard on
Absolutely
the
awesome.
board.
Huh?
Double shield guard. Not
Yep.
a
It's
name,
it's
but it's a double shield guard.
it's effectively a double shield guard, which is really nice. For melee weapons, right, they have a bite, which is only power 13, so a little bit less. Two claws that are power 13, but they also get beat back as well. So a little bit lower powered for 1 point less, but you're getting some really good stuff out of it, right? I think Primal Rage, Protective Rage, is a really solid ability. And if you can pair that really nicely with Defiant Rage that you get from the Apex, I mean, that is awesome. And they also get Retaliatory Strike. So
But
it's a really good combination. I love the synergy that just these two models have with each other. You're investing a lot of points, right? Because these are models that don't start on the field,
correct.
but it's a nice little benefit to kind of keep that staying power a little bit more.
Y-
And I think it plays well because going back to a lot of these units are cheaper units, so you're not really paying a lot of points for elite units to come out. So it makes it feel a little less bad when you have these off the board models that can then come into the game later on.
Um, that is all good points, but one huge weakness this model does have is that he can be knocked down.
He can be knocked down. That is very true. So
What do you think about him, Sam?
yeah.
Um, They're good models, but I don't know how I feel about the idea of starting the board with so many points off of it. So if I were building a list, I've been seeing a lot of people do this and they've just been building like full FA. And I'm imagining it's probably because they're just excited to play them. But I'm looking at them and I'm thinking maybe I pop in one or two at most. And when I say two, I don't even mean two of the shifted. I mean like one of an apex, one of a shifted, and hope that I don't need them as much because I don't like having that board space just being empty like that.
Yeah, I get you. And I've kind of been feeling the same way that, new shinies and all of that. We've seen some overload with lupines in a couple of recent leagues and events. I think people are excited to play werewolves. I think people are excited to play werebears. I don't think the full FA on either of them is a good idea. Um, I don't really want to start with so many points off the board either. I think that you'll see like a couple splashes where it makes sense. Um, I like this guy a lot, and it's going to be. This is a really elegant design here,
Yeah.
because
They
they've
synergize
made
well.
they've made a drastically weaker bear than the Apex for only 1 point less. It's a lower mat. It's lower POW. It has far fewer rules. If you really want to unlock it, you also need an Apex already on the board. Not the greatest combination. So how do you make it good? You give it the Umbral Guardian at home. That's what you do, because that is what Protective Rage is. It's similar to how Umbral Guardians and Invincibles work. Doesn't like Umbrals get the trigger off sprays and are also, stupider. But they are also 5 points. This guy is 3. It is more positioning relevant because you have to have a marked model within 3 inches of the target getting shot to use Protective Rage in the first place. Um, but it gives you a free trigger to pop out a bear. And to Sam's point, it gives you that very sweet spot double shield guard. I do love that. I am used to my Umbrals getting absolutely plastered the second they show up because everybody takes one look at them and goes, "Yeah, screw that guy," just
Because
nukes
they
it, like boosts the
suck.
damage and nukes them.
Hate
Which
them.
you should. Like that's smart. And I see the same thing happening here. Very similar defensive profile, stat wise. So they were gonna see this guy pop out and just go, yeah, that's we're not doing the double shield guard here. That's gotta go. But you're also like that costs resources from your opponent. That's something that they have to boost, they have to invest in. They can't just like wing a shot at you willy-nilly and feel good about it. When you start combining the shifted with like the Ursine apexes and then the shearlings, you're gonna get to this funky board state where your opponent's like, I'm not really sure how to damage you before you hit me. And that's gonna be kind of wild. I think that'll be really cool to see.
No, so overall, right? I think this box is really cool. It brings a lot of good stuff to the army. Them finally get access to Shield Guard definitely balances them out. This is a fantastic caster. Really good solos. Like this is a pretty good box.
It
Yeah,
is. To me though, the winner is automatically Resnikova, right? Like no
Yeah.
ifs or buts about it.
oh yeah. Running away.
Yeah. I mean, having a new caster is always really exciting. This caster really does a lot. This is definitely one of those boxes where if you don't get anything else, you get this for the model for that caster. And that's it's really, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in this box, right? So I feel like you should get this box either way. But this caster is really awesome to play.
Yeah. Everything in this box is super good. If I had to pick like one thing that I'm the least hyped for, it's the Dark Sister, Jazanna Auga. I still like she's got a ton of rules, but I do find them to be a bit more situational. And we're getting to this point where there's a lot of not super cheap stuff that you can take as support tech jank things. Like your shearlings are 5 points. Jazana Aga is 5 points. Your Ursan
Mm.
champion is 5 points. Your Ursine Apex is 4. Your Ursine Shifted is 3. And then you look over at the Lupines. This starts adding up.
It
Um,
does.
Right. So it seems like it's cheap, but once you start throwing in those cohort models and all these other things, it adds up, like you said, very
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
If you want to
and
bring
you're
out
already
very cool, right? Then that's 20 points right there.
well, we're not even gonna
don't
talk
worry
about
about them. They're not even in. They're to me. They're not in Umbre. I don't even worry about her. I just wait till I see her on the other side of the table, and that's it.
I will 100% be committing war crimes with you. That's a guarantee.
I'm all
Yeah, no.
about
So
the
I
extreme.
love this box. Is there any I mean, you guys got any lasting thoughts before we wrap up?
Nah, I'm hyped for this. I can't wait for this release.
For me, definitely probably throwing down for 2 boxes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so
definitely.
too.
This is definitely a 2-box purchase.
But that's just future proofing, so I'm not like everyone else. Like, hey, I ordered this thing. I'm like, well, sorry, bro. I pre-ordered it, so I have all my stuff. You're gonna have to wait 6 months for yours.
We're looking at a box again that has multiple FA options and only 2 characters, 1 leader and 1 character solo.
Yep. Yep.
So it from a value standpoint, if you like get one and then order individually, if you save any money, it's going to be so.
Very
I wouldn't
minimal.
worry too much about it. I think this is a windmill slam get to.
Yep. All right. With that, let's wrap up. I want to thank everybody for listening to another episode of Boost to Hits. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Good night,
Have a
everyone.
good night.